Gender ideology and dog culture. Here's another example. Gender ideology is presented as a cure all. It's a cure all with no bad side effects, according to gender ideology. If you're confused about your sexuality, if you're a young boy that thinks you're a girl, if you're a young girl that thinks you're a boy, well, we'll just give you some surgeries and drugs, and yeah, you'll just be fixed and you'll feel fine. That's what they say. But there's a lot of bad side effects of all those treatments and hormones, signing yourself up for a lifetime of having your surgeries repaired and needing to take more drugs. So, what about dog culture? Same thing. Dog culture is presented as the ultimate cure for anxiety and PTSD for veterans. Meanwhile, veteran suicide goes up. Dog culture is presented as a perfect, cure for all kinds of stuff. Oh, you're lonely. Oh, you had a breakup. All over. Oh, nothing could go wrong with having a dog. Nothing. There's no problem at all. So both of those things are marketed as some kind of be all, cure all, and guess who pays the price for this in the long run? Children. Children that aren't allowed to develop their sexuality and understand how their body is built and their hormones and what the purpose of all their organs is. Instead, we give them puberty blockers so they don't even get to experience that and make all those memories. We do all this stuff to supposedly fix this problem, this of the gender confusion. We'll fix it. We'll just pump them full of drugs and start hacking their bodies off. Cool. No, that's not cool. And dog culture, it does the same thing. It makes kids pay the price. Who gets sent to the emergency room? Who gets their face ripped off the most? Who is 2 and 3 feet tall in the faces of dogs that the media tells us we can kiss and hug, and he's a perfect friend and he's a protector and a lover? Who gets put in the emergency room the most? Kids and women. Facial reconstructive surgeries, police dogs tearing the face off of little kids. Yes, it's true. I'll put a link in the description. So, gender ideology, our children pay the price because they don't get to go through their humanity. The example of the puberty blockers, that's the perfect one. Going through puberty is a great time in your life. It's, you get your hormones, you start realizing who you are. Little the tomboy girls start realizing that they're attractive and they start talking to guys. The guys that thought girls were gross, now they're like looking at girls' breasts and stuff, and so that's the time to make memories in your life, and you're robbing that from the children. You're robbing them of the challenges and lessons that they can learn with the help of their fellow humans too. So you're also robbing the fellow humans of that opportunity to help their siblings go through puberty. And that's just a puberty blocker example. There's many others, but so the children are paying the price. It's the same thing with dog culture. By and large, children pay the price. And now I mentioned the tax earlier. The hospitalizations, but it's not just that. Children pay the price because we constantly more and more say, well, a dog is better than a human. I'm a doggy daddy. I'm a doggy parent. My dogs are my babies. Um, I'm a pity mommy. That dog is your sibling. We're constantly ramping up the humanization of dogs, saying they're better than humans. And so then we call our dogs babies. So who's going to pay the price for that? Who is going to have to slowly get devalued in society? Children. And so both of those ideologies, dog culture ideology, that a dog is just the best thing ever, is crap. And once you start looking at it, my thing about the veterans and high suicide, also veterinarians have a high rate of suicide. It's one of the higher rates of suicides for jobs. So this whole thing about dogs being this amazing cure-all and he's your perfect friend and protector, yeah, that's a bunch of marketing gimmicks. And the whole gender ideology of fixing gender confusion by making a person permanently dependent on pharmaceutical companies and knives to cut their stuff off or put it back on in many cases too. That's also just a big marketing lie because it doesn't fix the problem. Gender ideology, the way that we do it, it doesn't fix the problem. It just sets someone up to permanently be dependent on interventions from pharmaceuticals and medical places. It's the same thing with dog culture. You get a bunch of dogs, you're just permanently locked in to being part of that. Veterinarian costs, the barking, the shit all over your lawn, the having to constantly scold your dogs for jumping up in your face and retrain them. All of the cost of dog culture, it just sets you up to be permanently spending money on a bunch of products you don't need for your dog. Same thing with the gender ideology. It's very comparable. And what do you guys think about that? Those comparisons valid or what?